Okay, hi, Virgo. This one is for you. This is Tarot Lumination with your singles mini love and relationship report for, late November, early December. We're kind of doing it, half and half now. And that's you, Virgo, right there. Okay, so I invite you to stop, start, and pause the little video as necessary so you can integrate some of these questions into the reading yourself. It saves everybody a lot of time, and you can have fun and do your own readings that way. And cards are already well shuffled in advance. We're going to do things to the right, to the last second. No oracles, jumpers, flyers, no reversals. Okay, keeping it very, very simple here. And we're working on the understanding that there's you, there's the other, and there's the relationship itself, which has its own identity and structure. Okay, and this is all what if, okay? Remember, this is singles, okay? Tarot Lumination is not a fortune teller. We're just talking about potential here, okay? What if? Okay, cards are shuffled. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles. Sorry, I totally messed that up. Pretend you didn't see any of that, okay? I'm just going to do a little quick buzz here because I just don't do that. I'm sorry. I know some people get all excited about jumpers and flyers. I really don't. So, it wants to do it again. Calm down, calm down. Here we go. Let's see what happens now. Like sometimes the cards really, they want to do their own thing. Oh, okay. So this is your energy, love energy radiating. This would be, this is the could be, if. This is the relationship itself, if. And these are the prospects, if. Okay? And we're going to look at the circumstantial energy, which is there anyway. And it's like weather. We're just going to make the best of it. You, Virgo, are going to make the best of it. It's not going to own you. Circumstantial energy is not your life. It's not your world. It's circumstantial. Okay, so what have we got? The King of Cups. So my feeling here, Virgo, is that it's like wishing to come into your own when it comes to matters of the heart, so that you are not at the mercy of others, okay? So with all this massive turbulent ocean here of, let's say, drama, emotional drama, potential this, potential that, or not this, or not that, or like, why are things so empty and so bleak, or why are things so big and confusing and overloaded, and almost like it doesn't matter. What really counts here is ownership, taking ownership of the situation, of the circumstances, so that you are not a victim, okay? So that you can, let's say, reach a level of emotional maturity and mastery that allows you to move through this time period with a sense of confidence and assurance, as opposed to being shaken and rattled about by circumstance. So what are you radiating right now? Okay, this card comes up over and over and over again. I think a lot of us are just kind of overwhelmed, frankly. My feeling is that over the last couple of years, I mean, I only did Tarot Illumination for the last 6 to 8 months or whatever, but I've been involved in this for a long time, and a lot of people have been under tremendous stress, huge transformational energies in terms of the astrology, and it can really wear us down. And you, Virgo, are a sensitive soul, and you might just be in a time period right now where you're just a little battered and bruised, and it's almost like, it's literally like the image here, just taking a time out and thinking, you know what, I've been through the wars, man. This happened and that happened and that happened, and oh my gosh, if only I had done this, if only I had done that, and like, didn't they ever see me? Didn't they ever notice me? How did I lose them? Why didn't I get them? All of that kind of woe is me stuff. which can be very, very consuming, especially if you had a really rough time. It makes it incredibly hard to remember and focus on the attitude of gratitude and reminding ourselves that we are surrounded. We are totally, surrounded by the healing power of love at all times. It's just a question of perception and attitude and focus. Energy flows where attention goes. And if all your attention is over here on coulda, woulda, shoulda, it makes it very hard for what is to actually manifest, okay? So, yeah, you might be like, let's say just trying to like overcome this, trying to get things around in such a way that you can like get out of being stuck and get back into the attitude of gratitude, because I'm sure, Virgo, you know fully well that that's how you attract who and what you need. It's you radiate, be loving, be loved. If you're feeling miserable, find ways to create joy from the inside out. Even fake it till you make it. And that makes it much more likely that you will attract someone and something that you deserve, okay? Because otherwise this can be it can be hard to attract who and what you deserve when you're focused on your battle scars and your wounds and your pain and your suffering. Even though it's very important that we do that, it's very important that we heal ourselves, but it needs not be consuming. What would you be attracting if? Okay, let's say almost a pioneer. Someone over here, let's say you were attracting someone, and we're getting over here the Two of Wands. It might be the energy of someone who is considering prospects, okay? It might not be the sort of energy where you're feeling like all fired up and lovey-dovey. It's more the question of someone that you would be attracting someone who would be evaluating the situation in terms of opportunity and life path and future things unfolding for them in the context of you. It's not all about like, oh, I think you're really hot, I really want to go for you, and let's make out. It's more like, I see you in your woe is misery, but I also see the love and the beauty there. I wonder how that's going to affect me if I decide to pursue this and actually make a couple of moves on you. I wonder. That's what I'm feeling here, okay, for this energy coming in. So it's very, let's say that there's potentially something good there, but it's the potential of, it's a little bit like, what's in it for me? How's it going to work out for me? But also, they're obviously going to be concerned about you, but they would be evaluating, like, where is this going to lead? Where is it going to go? How could this work for us? How I know I'm going to have to go out of my way, because most relationships involve us having to move beyond our comfort zones in order to get inside the relationship itself and create a completely separate entity that you own together, and then you maintain that like a business. Okay, so I know that's not very romantic, but relationships do need maintenance. They are like it's like an enterprise, and they require fertilization and management and attention and care and love and healing. They require timeouts and breaks and times of celebration and joy, all of it. And that's what's going on here. There's a potential someone out there who would be maybe not necessarily your person of interest, but they might be seeing you as a person of interest, and they might be like hovering around you, like, this Virgo, interesting. I know they're wrapped up in their woe is me, but there's something attractive about that, and I need to consider that. So that's what I'm feeling there. So what if that did work out and this became closer and closer and closer and closer? What would the relationship dynamic be? Well, it would be very transformational. With the death card here for you, Virgo, it would indicate that I like to see it as it's very, very good news, because it's basically like if this person did arrive and they decided to make a move on you and express themselves and like at least give you a nudge that they are interested and they would like to pursue something with you, and they may, let's just say that brings you out of your doldrums a little bit to the point where you think, well, okay, yeah, maybe we could do this, and you kind of like hover around each other a little bit and you do a little bit of a slow dance together, nothing too intimate, just getting to know you kind of thing. And what happens is immediately it starts to trigger the energy of transformation, not just for you, but for them as well. It becomes the relationship itself is transformational. In other words, by committing to something like this, if this person does arrive, then what happens is you, Virgo, get, I'm not saying sucked in, but you get drawn into, let's say, a very deep, intimate place, because this is sometimes considered the Scorpio energy, where you go into those shadow places where nobody wants to go, but ultimately we all have to go anyway at some point. And it means big shifts, big changes from the depths, from the inside out, which could be simply a trigger and a reminder like, whoa, wake up, wake up. Attitude of gratitude. Focus on the love. Forget about the past. Keep going. Focus on the love. Focus on the love. Put the little Ace of Cups here, miniature Ace of Cups, together with the Two of Wands, and you might actually have something good going on here. It's just that it means quite a lot of shift and changing in terms of attitudes, perhaps circumstances, ways of relating that you're not used to. And it could take you like deep, 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 deep into the point where like, oh my gosh, is this really happening? Where, you are being taken to your absolute limits of your emotional capacity to handle what's going on. And when you're taken to those degrees of limits, it could bring out the best in you, okay? Where you have to rise up and attain and reach and, let's say, find emotional mastery, find that dignity of self that would in turn, let's say, be the equivalent of recognizing the Ace of Cups around you so that you can become a custodian, the owner, and the, let's say, have sovereign ownership of the healing power of love, which would attract somebody of, somebody worthy who sees you as worthy. It's just that it means a lot of transformation for that to happen. So it might be feeling like a bit of a cauldron where there would be bubbling and seething going on in ways that could be uncomfortable, perhaps very passionate, but disturbingly passionate, to the point where it's almost like, wow, gulp. It's that it was that good, or it was so good it was scary. That's what happens sometimes in love relationships. Starts out as very light and sweet, and then you get into it, and all of a sudden it's, oh my, I don't want to say expletives on this channel, but whoa, what just happened? Okay, so where does that take you? It takes you back down to earth to like a recognition of innocence. Like, whoa, I had no idea how innocent I was. I had no idea how little that I really knew about what love meant at this depth, at this kind of level. But that's a good thing, because once you recognize through your own innocence how much more there is to learn, how much more there is to grow, that can be very satisfying. Because if you think you've got it all already, or you thought you had it all and then you lost it all, then that's kind of a sad place to be. But in this situation here, if you end up attracting this type of soul, this type of energy from another, it could be very good news for you in terms of changing who you are and how you are, right into the depths of your soul, where you can rise up to new levels of mastery, so that it becomes evident in your world around you. And there's no shame in that, okay? Page of Pentacles, let's admit it. There's a lot to learn, and then where to allocate your resources, where to discover how valuable that you really are to others and how others are to you. Understand that the energy of value is very, very important in relationships. How much do How much do you really value the other? How much does the other really value you? And, value, you could almost use it as a parallel word to love. But value is something that's very tangible. It's something that, you can hold on to. It's like someone who loves you when things are really, really rough. Okay. That's very valuable as opposed to someone who's just there for a good time. Okay, so that's what would be going on here. Discovering your true value, your true values in the context of a relationship, and how that affects who you attract. Okay, so let's leave it at that. All right, Virgo, please reinterpret like we talked about earlier. Make the most of it. Have an awesome season. I thank you for choosing Tarot Lumination. Bye bye. All the best.